hello. Hello.
There he is.
There he is. Hello, Mr. Bison.
There he is. How are you doing, Mr. Champ?
I'm fantastic. You know, living the champion's life as one does. How about you?
Well, this is the only belt I have now. Yeah. Since I'm
commiserations. Sorry about that,
I am no longer the undefeated World Elite Champion, but I do have this though, which it's pretty, it's nice.
It is very pretty. It's very big, very big.
Well, it's very big. I'm a very big man, DJB. Right, I'm a very big deal, and I should have a big belt. But let the record show that Dave Barron was very lucky. Right, very lucky, extremely lucky. The turnbuckle really aided him there. He had to break the Iron Bison's arm to even have a chance at victory.
We will, of course, get to that match, but we're here for a purpose, Bison. We're here for a purpose. Is, of course, the Vendetta recap show.
Are you suggesting that we're not just going to talk about me tonight?
No, we have a lot of other things to talk about, sir. A lot of other things. And I think we should begin with the Battle Royal.
Okay, the Battle Royal. That was great, wasn't it?
It was.
That
it was
thing down. That's fucking heavy, man. Jesus Christ. Yeah, the Battle Royal, man. That was something else. 20 men in that ring.
20. It was something. I mean, I had the pleasure of commentating that match, and I was blown away.
You did a great job. You did a great job, DJB. Everyone was talking about it, how great you did. But I'll tell you what was the highlight for me was something I don't think anyone expected, and that was that Xander Cool made it to 15.
Xander Cool pulling out all the stops. I mean, yeah. Who would ever have thought that?
Imagine if you could have put money on the order of elimination, the money you would have got betting that Xander Cool would make it to the final five.
Yeah, that's a missed opportunity. It's lots of money there. That's damn. We all know better now. We all know better. Xander Cool can hang with the big guys, as they say.
I think what it was he just sort of disappeared under the radar. And this happens in matches like this. People always aim for, the bigger names and try and eliminate the favourites early on. No one really sees a Xander. So he just silently just ghosts like a poltergeist, haunting the Battle Royal. And then before you knew it, it's like, fuck, Xander's still in this.
What? What? It's like, if Santino Marella was to make it to the final four in a Royal Rumble, you'd be like, whoa, what?
Yeah, it's like when you realise what's going on. And you know that Rob Roman was backstage probably praying for Xander to win. He'd be like, go on, Xander. Fucking do it. Go on, Xander.
Did anything really stand out to you during the Battle Royal?
Yeah, a few things stood out to me. Devil's Executioner was an absolute force to be reckoned with in the Battle Royal. I mean, he's like the Terminator.
Oh, yes.
Everyone who tried to go near that man ended up going on a flying trip over the top rope each and every time. Until, of course, TCO, who wasn't having any of that shenanigans.
No. Them two, they really went. They went back and forth. They had a bit of a tussle in that ring.
Yeah, and outside of it, and behind it, and through the fans, and in the back. Yeah, well, TCO, it's because he eliminated. I thought when I was watching, Devil's Executioner is going to win this. I thought it was going to be either Berserko or Devil's Executioner because they were just the monsters of the ring. And everyone who went near those two, it was like King Kong and Godzilla. and everyone else is just collateral damage.
Yeah.
But then TCO eliminated him, and instead of just moving on with the match, he taunts him from the ring.
Oh yeah.
Like, you don't taunt a man like Devil's Executioner.
No.
When someone's called the Devil's Executioner, it might not be the wisest idea to taunt the man. I don't know if you realise this, DJB, but he's an executioner of devils.
It's kind of implied in the name.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very serious man. Is our executioner. I don't think I've ever seen him smile.
We do actually have a recap of the action between Devil's Executioner and TCO. If you'd like to watch that, it's a bit of a lengthy video, but we have it on demand right here.
Yeah, because these two have been going back and forwards ever since, so I think you should play that. Yeah, let's see that.
That thing was good. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a little recap of the things that went on between Devil's Executioner and TCO in this past week's Battle Royale match.
Executioner would grab and hang on, but TCO, he wasn't having any of it, and with one final boot to the ropes and to Executioner's fingers, he would lose his grip, causing him to slip down into the outside, eliminating him from this match. TCO would then taunt Executioner from the ring, pointing down, laughing at him on the outside, but he wasn't paying attention to how far he was standing away from the apron, as Executioner then got the chance to grab TCO by the legs under the bottom rope and drag him out. TCO and Devil's Executioner would then start to brawl all around the outside of the ring and end up over the barricade into the fans in attendance, brawling together through the crowd until they seemingly disappear and head backstage through one of the emergency exits.
The blood is only a reminder of what else transpired. Devil's Executioner. You got a little sour after I ruined your dreams, didn't you? You got a little sour and a little bit of a sore loser intention because I ruined your chance at becoming any form of relevant here in Vendetta, huh?
Out of the 20 competitors, I was the only one that didn't mention that winning this battle royal was my dream. Because dreams are for losers. Dreams are where you live in that fantasy world and conjure up this false sense of hope. So that way when you lose, you have something to blame it on other than you just weren't that good.
Is that what brought you to drag me out of the ring?
I attacked you because after you eliminated me, what did you do? You decided to stand right there and gloat. So I had to teach you a lesson.
Well, you did your job, but you didn't finish it.
Once again, making false assumptions. Because I did finish the job. The job was to prevent you from winning. Sure, I wasn't the one that eliminated you, but I made it easier for you to be eliminated. Job well done.
You can feel obligated to be proud of yourself. We're not done.
There's a collision course set, but before you start dreaming of how you're going to win this match, I want you to step into reality. And I want you to realize what's going to happen to you when you have to stand face to face with me. Because if you think beating you up and down all those aisles next to those stupid fans and into the back arena was something, just wait. I want to see that pain. I want to see that anguish in your eyes leaking out as I embrace you with pain, with violence, with vile intentions.
Sometimes dreams become a reality. If you put your mind to it, of course. If you work hard, anything can happen.
You have stepped from outside of those shadows, and you have stood firmly on your own 2 feet. Now I can say I'm getting excited. Because now I see that you want to step into the playground of the dark, demented demons that I reside in. Allow me to welcome you. However, don't take your shoes off. Don't take your coat off and don't hang it by the door. Because you're going to need those. You're going to need that coat to keep you warm. Because here, it gets awfully cold.
I, unfortunately, do not live in the dream world that you think. Because I am a nightmare that walks among the living. I'm as real as it gets. The beating I'm gonna give you at Vendetta is as real as it's gonna be. Then how amazing would it be for the devil's executioner to be executed himself?
Think that you're going to execute me. You know, if I had a dime for every person that said they were going to execute me, I would... Well, you know the ending. I don't need to be cliche.
By the urban legend TCO. And do not think for a second that you have anything up your sleeve, because I can see right through you. You have nothing. You may think you have enough wit to stand against me, but in reality, since you want to be real about things, I'm gonna crush your head like a hot air balloon when it deflates in the sky.
I want to see if you can really dance with the demons. I want to see if you can really hang with the devil's executioner. But I must warn you, it's not for the faint of heart. It's not for the weak stomachs. TCO, you better be ready. Because I can guarantee you that it will be very, very dark where I'm going to take you. Is what I do to people. I drag them to their deepest, darkest points of their life. Drag them right through it. And see if they actually have the gall to survive.
And just so everyone understands, I will be the atom bomb to your career.
That I will make you suffer.
Wow.
Well, two very serious individuals.
Very serious.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what happens when we get those two in the same ring.
Yeah, this is not the end.
That's the good thing about things like battle royals, man. Like things happen. But TCO and Devil's Executioner, that's promising to be a very violent exchange. One for the brutality division, I think. A ring ain't going to contain those two, so let's just have some fun with that one and just see what happens.
Oh, fun shall be had.
Have you seen how angry Executioner is? Like,
very.
Imagine if you had him and Beast against each other. It would be like, who can frown the hardest? Because both men are very stone-faced, right? Like, TCO has his work cut out for him, man. I've been in the ring with Devil's Executioner back when I was like 8-0 before the streak unfortunately ended. But I was in the ring with him, and he was the toughest test I'd had at that point, and took it pretty much until Mason. He was the toughest test I'd had. Devil's Executioner is a very, very hard man to beat. So that's TCO has his work cut out for him there.
The Battle Royale, I mean, just in general as a whole, was absolutely... That was just one of the highlights throughout the whole match. I mean, like you mentioned earlier, Berserko was just an absolute monster throughout that whole thing.
Yeah, he was. He was scary, man. He just... he's a scary dude, man. Like, he has that presence about him, you know, where he just demands respect.
Oh, yeah.
The man pretty much has his own gravitational pull, man. He's just... Everyone around him was just being destroyed until, of course, him and Jester White decided to cross swords. And,
yes, they did.
And yeah, I didn't think anyone in that ring would be able to match Berserko's strength, but Jester White matched it with tenacity. And watching those two go at it was incredible. That was like two titans trying to kill each other.
Yeah, it was like unstoppable force and movable object. They're both equal. You just don't know which one's going to come out on top, if any. Oh, sorry about that. The Battle Royale, the winner of the Battle Royale.
Yeah, let's not forget the winner. So Shady Sean McKenzie. Now he came out with a really emotional promo before the match, saying, you know, he really wanted to do this for Jackson, and he brought that passion with him in the ring for damn sure.
Oh, yeah.
And he wasn't going to lose that match. He was determined not to lose that match. I think a lot of people were in there for their own reasons, but to him, he really wanted to do this for Jackson. That really, it was evident watching him perform in the ring that he wasn't. You're going to have to kill him to get him out of that ring. Like.
Yes, sorry, I'm having a bit of a chesty moment there. Congratulations to Shady. I mean, that was, like you said, the passion he showed throughout the entire week was just absolutely phenomenal for Jackson. And speaking of, let's plug it, Lionheart Tournament coming up, ladies and gentlemen.
Lionheart Tournament, yeah, it's coming up very soon. And Shady Sean McKenzie is now #1 contender for the International Prospect Championship, which has changed hands. Which no one saw coming. We'll get to that later.
But we are going to move up the card in chronological order, and the match after the Battle Royale, if I am not mistaken, yes, it was Josh Byers going up against Gorilla Cruz.
Yes, that little bastard.
That little, I said it myself, that little bastard Mike Storm.
You know, man, your commentary is not very professional, DJB. I have to say, you know, you started the first line that came out of your mouth was that little. You really have an in for Mikey, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mikey's a bit of a daddy's boy, isn't he? He was like desperate, you know. Gorilla. Look, in credit to Gorilla, right? Josh wasn't giving him an ounce of a chance all week.
No.
Josh knows he's a big name. He knows that he was the heavy favorite going into that. He was pretty much mocking Cruz for being a prospect, because when the match was announced, it was billed as an OAW prospect against Josh Byers, and he was probably thinking, well, what is this? You know,
yeah.
Is he a gorilla? Is he a man? What is this? What is going on? But Gorilla Cruz took it to him, man. But Gorilla Cruz will take it to anyone. That guy is a fighting man. He's not a
fighting back.
Gorilla Cruz has what it takes to beat anyone on any given day, and Josh Byers was starting to see that until that little bastard Mike Storm decided no one's going to beat my daddy up except for me. Yeah, another good match and great commentary as well. You're smashing it, son. You really are.
Thank you very much. Yeah, but I mean, still a win is a win. Congratulations, Josh Byers, for coming out with the W on the match. I mean, it's going to go down on the record as a win. unfortunate for Gorilla Cruz the way it happened, and I'm pretty sure this isn't the last that Gorilla Cruz is going to see of Mike Storm. He's going to want to. He's going to want to get him back in some way.
Yeah. Also, just to also just to go back a little bit, I forgot to mention, in the Battle Royal we had when Berserker was finally eliminated and Jester White, it was by the returning TCO, right? And when they went out the ring, those two started brawling heavy. And then we had Split come down and get involved, and Wicked Sin come down and get involved. And we ended up with Wicked Sin, Jester White, and the Carnival all brawling out on the outside.
Yeah, they all had a bit of a brawly.
Now, we do have some videos to show from Jester White and Berserker, who have both submitted something to show tonight.
We have. Who should we show first? Should we show Jester or should we show Berserker?
Well, both are pissed. So let's just start with Berserker.
Berserker first. Ladies and gentlemen, some words from Berserker.
Jester White, I hope you're satisfied with the end result of our match. You see, because I had it in the bag, but I felt the need to show you that I was stronger than you. I had to overpower you and stay locked up with you for so long that I allowed complacency to sink into my mind. Not paying attention to my surroundings, and that caused me to be eliminated, along with you. Now, what happened on the outside of the ring, now that was fun. That was enjoyable. But see, the problem is, I didn't get to share any of the fun with you. You see, we exchanged blows a few times, and then your so-called friend, Wicked Sin, decided to come down and feed me some chair shots. And man, was it great! What a great way to take my mind off of losing that match. But see, once my friend came down Split and destroyed you two, allowing me to get back to my feet and us going toe to toe all the way to the back until security split us up, you know, I had a realization. I don't want it to be over. Therefore, Wicked Sin and Jester White, what do you say we take this to the next level? Let's make it official. Come on, guys. Let's see what it's like when you take a trip to the carnival.
Oh, shit.
You see, man, listen. This is the reason why I'm sort of now taking my role at the table, right? And starting to sort of, commentate instead. Because these people are losing their fucking mind, man. And I always thought that I was a bit twisted up, but I'm the sanest man in the room now. Like, these people are fucked. But let's see what Jester White had to say.
Yeah, Jester White had a few words too, so let's see what he has to say, folks.
Carnival. If it wasn't for you, Berserko, I would have had that fucking battle royal in the palm of my fucking hands. I would have had that victory in the palm of my hands. Do you know how much fucking sacrifice? Berserko. If it wasn't for you getting in my fucking way, I would have eliminated fucking Shady a long time ago. So for you to get in my fucking way, you deserve every fucking ass kicking you ever fucking got from me and the Wicked Sin. When you got your boy Split helping you out. I'm sorry, but a motherfucker your size, Berserker, you don't need Split to help you fight for your battles. You're bigger than me and the Wicked Sin put together. And yet you have your best friend Split coming to save your ass.
If I was a man of your fucking size and your caliber, I don't think me and you could sit both knocked out like that. But no, you have to get Split to come down, because you're a fucking pussy. So, for you two fucking Slipknot rejects, you better prepare for war, because me and Wickets in DCE, we ain't having any of it. It's time that you met the bastards of hatred. It's time you met the real fucking insanity. It's time you met the real madness. It's time you met the real carnival of madness. Berserko, Split. When me and the Wicked Sin get our hands on you, we're gonna make sure that you feel so much pain, so much madness, so insane. You don't know who the fuck you are anymore. Berserko, I got my fucking eyes on you. Split, you're just another little bitch that's in the fucking way. You're collateral damage. If you get in the way, you're gonna get knocked the fuck out. Berserko, I want you. Because if it wasn't for you, I would've won that battle royal. But no, he had to get in the way. He had to fucking ruin things for me, don't you? And Split, next time you come down to the ring with a chair, I'm gonna make you wear that chair as a fucking necklace for the rest of your fucking life. Berserko, you better prepare, because soon I'm coming to take you away. I won't blast you in the fucking face of you. I don't run me instead, like guns you're fucking through. Rage flowing through me tonight. I can't control myself. Hate coursing
Damn. Two very angry, intense individuals.
Angry.
I don't know. I don't know what's happening, man. I don't know what's going on in OAW. You know, I don't know what's happening in OAW. You know, it used to be. I mean, back in the day, I was the most irrational. You know, I was the messiah of the maniacal, right? But these people need therapy, man. Like there's some issues with some of these new people. Candice launched the brutality division, and with it, it's just been a homing beacon to. I mean, I've never felt more fucking sane, DJB. And you know, you should be worried, man, because you're the Carnage champion. And well, these are the sort of people who are going to be coming after you, bruv. So I mean,
yeah, but it's always the quiet ones that are the real ones you've got to worry about. And I've been real quiet lately.
You haven't really, though, man. I mean, you're always walking around your house naked, wearing the belt. You know, you show it to everyone that wants to see it. You know, it's all you go on about is that title and how great you are.
But that's just truth.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. So
let's move on.
We covered Josh Byers beating Gorilla Cruz thanks to the little bastard. Let's move on to D-Man Smoke, who went up against Ale Thompson in a death match.
All right, now this was the first death match in OAW history. This was the launch of Candice's amazing idea, because she's a sadist, of having a deathmatch division. And yeah, they certainly did lived up to that. I mean, they practically killed each other. The match ended on top because they decided, why use a ring? Why use the concrete outside when we can fight on top of the Titantron? So they climbed that. They fought on that. They fell, obviously, as anyone else would expect. And Demon Smoke managed to pick up the win. I mean, this was a brutal match, man. I mean, these two people, this wasn't a fight or a wrestling match. Candice was losing her mind. This was exactly what she wanted. She loves all this stuff. You know, this match was so violent that I think Tony Sterling would get like an upset stomach watching this. I think Onions would be, you know, feeling a bit nauseous after watching this one. It was gnarly. It was a brutal affair where it all came down in the end to mentality. I feel like L. Thompson is the better wrestler of the two men without a doubt, but Demon Smoke was the better fighter on the day, and that's the difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you can wrestle, but fighting deathmatch is different, man. Like, shameless plug. I did win the amusement park. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, DJB. Have I ever really mentioned it? You know, for anyone who didn't, for anyone, I best let people know. Then, for anyone who didn't know, I am the Iron King of the amusement park, so I know a thing or two about death matches. I did beat Tommy Dyer. May have heard of him, the Emperor of death matches. I did beat Crimson Wolf. I did beat Daniel Saint and Zaki Monster and Carl Cole, so I'm a pretty big deal. But this match was even more violent than any of the ones I'd had. This was ridiculous. Yeah, it was until Baron popped it. But yeah, this was a great start to that division, and everything that division represents. These men killed it. And each other.
They did. And I bet Candice is proud of both of them.
I think she just wants everyone to die so she can just... But without sort of doing the deed herself. You know, like, if I just remove all the rules and just let people kill each other, she's probably thinking, I'll make a belt, and if there's no one alive to receive the belt, then I don't have to give the belt away. You know, I don't know what goes on in her head, but yeah, she was like, we need deathmatch. I was like, you don't know anything about deathmatches. She was like, I don't care. I want it. I've just watched Bloodsport with Jean-Claude Van Damme, and I liked what I saw, and I want it in OW. Well, it's not really how it works, Ken. She's like, well, I want it, and I'm already making the belt.
She does know it's fake, right?
No, she doesn't.
Oh. Sorry, Candice, but Frank Dux lied.
No, she thinks Jean-Claude Van Damme is the real deal. Like, he's real. That happened.
Oh, because she's got a crush on Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Of course, I look like him. Didn't you? You cannot see the stunning resemblance. What are you fucking laughing for, man? I'm just the spitting image, like his doppelganger, man.
Right. We're getting off topic. Next match.
Go.
We had our mixed tag team match. Joe Rivers, Lenore Len going up against Hella Undead and Gage Thompson.
Yeah, okay. I'll let you take the lead on this one. What did you think of that?
I'm not going to lie, I'm not a fan of mixed tag team matches. However, I am a fan of Joe Rivers, who lately has come, I think you'll agree, has come a long way in the Iron Elite.
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
I called this match, didn't I? Yes, I did, didn't I?
You did, yeah. I've always been a fan of Hella. I think Hella is a dangerous. Oh, we do.
We have a few video packages, yes. We have a couple of video packages here we have one from Hella Undead, and I believe there was one from Lenore somewhere.
Yeah, so, because Hella stole the title, right? She stole the belt.
Yes, Hella toddled off. After, what was it, the kiss of death on the referee? That was it, yes. Oh.
Yeah, she took the belt. Hella's not playing around, man. Hella's a very dangerous woman.
Yeah, she's...
I wouldn't want to be Lenore right about now, but let's see what Hella and Lenore had to say.
Yes, eeny, meeny, miny, Hella.
Since you never give a damn in the first place, maybe it's time you let the tables turn. Because in the interest of all, we got the problem solved. And the purpose is still take man, look out, like no way, man, and try to stop, you know, you would definitely get go, big motherfucker,
Well, Lenore Lynn. It looks like I have something that you want. I have something that has and always will rightfully belong to me. That Shield Maidens Championship. You see, Lenore Lynn, that Shield Maidens Championship belongs in the hands of a real woman. A true champion, someone like the Queen of Mean, the sadistic angel, the baddest bitch in this business today, the insidious Empress Hella Undead. And that is why I took what rightfully belongs to me. No. Don't you worry about where it's at. It's put up for safekeeping. Just know that it is now in the hands of the woman that it truly belongs to. Lenore Lynn, if you want that Shield Maidens Championship back, you will have to face me one-on-one. And you will have to take it over my dead body. Because I guarantee that I am going to keep it over yours.
Damn.
I'm just gonna say this, right? Hella's gonna murder. Hella's gonna murder Lenore Lynn, man. We
don't know.
She's fucking terrifying, man. Like,
Lenore is still the Shield Maiden champion, and she's got that belt for a reason.
well, she doesn't have the belt anymore, does she, DJB?
Well, no, but she's still champion.
No.
That belt, as far as Hella is concerned, that's stolen property. Anyway, Lenore, we've got some words from Lenore here, so we're going to jump into that.
All right, bye.
Hello. And Hangman, why I bring you involved in this too, because I know for a fact Hella's not smart enough with that idea. I know she's not smart enough to think, oh, let distract Lenore by hailing my championship. No. Nah. And hit me with the head with it? No. And now she has it on the hand. And I am truly, right now, I am pissed off that I let that happen. Because I'd be damned if my hard work, my dedication to this brand, to this company, if some random person tries to steal my title that I worked my butt off for. I am not letting that happen. So, Hella, I'll tell you this right now. You better give me back my Shield Maidens Championship. If not, say bye to your head.
Okay, Lenore's pissed, but I mean, listen, you know, Hella Undead isn't no random individual. Hella Undead is a very dangerous woman, and I mean, look, I'll give Lenore her credit, right? Lenore, she has been at the top of that mountain for a long time, and everyone that steps up, she takes them down. But Hella is a different breed. She is insidious. She's calculated. You know, I don't like Lenore's position that she's in right now. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't know, because I'm a Lenore Lynn fan. I'm not. I don't know enough about Hella Undead yet to really know.
Well, it's kind of like what we were just saying about Ale and Smoke, right? Lenore Lynn is the better wrestler. She is the better technician. She has more ring IQ. She is more technical, more intelligent with how she approaches a fight. But Hella, she's a saber-tooth fucking tiger. You know, Hella won't submit you by tying up your arm. She'll rip it off and beat you up with it. But Hella is vicious. How these two approach a match is very different. You know, Hella could stand in that ring and have a death match with any of the men and be competitive. I wouldn't want to see Lenore in that situation. But in an actual normal match regulated by normal rules, that's where Lenore Lynn has a chance. but she's going to have to go get a belt back.
Yeah, she needs to go fetch her belt back. But hopefully, we'll pick up more on that next week.
I mean, the people, you know, backstage in admin, the people running this, human resources and whatnot, are supposed to be the ones who handle this stuff. I'm sure Hella's had some emails, but I doubt she gives a fuck. I mean, it's OEW property at the end of the day, but I'm not going to go to Hella's address and ask for it. I mean, you're welcome to, DJB. If you want to go knock on Hella's door and say, we need the belt back, you're more than welcome. You have my blessing, in fact, to go ask.
I've got things to do, you know.
I thought as much. I'm busy myself, man. I'm busy myself. I have to wash my hair, you know.
So, we're going to jump to our next match, and I'm going to let you take this one because I know this one's going to be a nice personal favourite of yours. Doomsayer going up against Eric Molyneux.
Well, okay. Now, this match is important for one really, really big reason. This was the debut of the Chaos-born commentary storm. Right? This was my first job at the table, and I smashed it. I absolutely killed it.
Fantastic job you did, sir.
Yep. I'm going to get to the performers in a second, but it's just worth noting how good. Didn't I do great? Did you all catch my Rocky reference when Eric was, killing Doomsayer in the ring? Now, let's get to that match. This was a very interesting match, right? Because
yes,
Doomsayer, he is a legend of professional wrestling. There's no two ways about it, right? That guy has had World Heavyweight Championships everywhere. He is being the mainstay of so many great shows. He is being the poster boy. He's carried leagues, he's carried feds, he's carried promotions on his back. But that was in the past. And as time has gone on, the shades of greatness that Doomsayer once possessed have diminished. They have, as this happens with everyone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, it's happening to me, right? So, but Eric is on the way up. Eric is a legend of the future. So going into this match, it was always a question to me of which Doomsayer turns up tonight. Because if Doomsayer turn up where he's just cashing in a check, if this is Doomsayer just turning up, as Doomsayer has been guilty of doing in the past, he has.
Yeah.
But Doomsayer always has that. He can just one day wake up and be that Doomsayer of old again, and that's when he's dangerous. That's when he's dangerous. I fought Doomsayer 3 times. First time I faced him, he killed me. The second time I faced him, he barely showed up. And then the third time I faced him, he did, but I won anyway. And unfortunately for Eric, I feel like Eric had planned to have just a stroll in the park with Doomsayer, probably thinking I'm going to get to scalp a legend, a man who's beat, the Iron Bison before, a man who's beat so many greats. I'm going to beat him and have another scalp because he beat Rob Roman, right? He's beat Titan. He's been in the ring and beat a lot of big names, but Doomsayer. I don't know what fueled Doomsayer, man. Early on, I thought this was done. Doomsayer decided to stand and box with Eric Molyneux. Now, for those that don't know, Eric is not a wrestler. Eric is a boxer, and I mean a vicious bare-knuckle boxer. That's his roots. He's learning professional wrestling, which is why he's the amateur champion. But in terms of fighting experience, there's nothing amateur about Eric, especially in a boxing position. Yeah. And Doomsayer, I don't know what was going on inside his head, whether he's taken too many blows or what, but he decided he was going to have a boxing match with Eric, and we all saw what went down. Eric absolutely Ivan Drago'd him round that ring. And Doomsayer would just keep standing.
Yeah, he kept doing the Brazilian foot.
And standing. And I've never seen anything. I'm not sure what was going on. I'd love to hear from Doom as to what his game plan was. I'd love to speak to him and say, what was you thinking?
It's funny you say that, Mr. Bison, because I just so happen to have a video from Doomsayer right here.
All right, let's play it. Let's see what Doom's got to say. Then
let's see what Doom has to say.
So I'm gonna admit that I got my ass whooped, right, by Mr. Eric himself. But he got a taste of what I can and what I will do. I mean, he had to possess the referee, because I was gonna take him out. But you know what? It's completely fine. It's completely fine. Now on to another task right here. Tommy Dyer. And people were sending me messages telling me about, hey, what's going on here with Dyer? He was about to hit you with the chair. It looked like he was about to end your career as you were laying flat on top of that table. What were you going to do? I don't know. I couldn't do anything. I was laid out. I had to do that one final move for that table to make a statement for everybody on the roster. And Tommy Dyer, well, me and him have a history. A big history. And the sadistic son of a bitch that he is. Well, I know that there is a lot to expect from him, and I do expect that Tommy Dyer. I do expect the one that will want me to suffer eternally. That's a Tommy Dyer I want. If he wants to fight, I'm willing to fight. I mean, hell, I lost a tooth last night in my match. I have a couple scars on top of my dome right here, but they'll heal in time. I'm walking to keep myself in motion right now. But Tommy, Mr. Eric, either one of you, let's go. Especially you, Tommy. I will see you real soon.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, so it's okay that Eric possessed the referee. Now, that's something we need to talk about. So, as I was saying, to recap, Doom was getting destroyed, right? He was getting absolutely... But he kept on rising and standing, and eventually Doom would get Eric in trouble. He locked in his submission, the full Nelson, right? And Eric couldn't get out. You know, Doom is very physically powerful, and he's stronger than it looks. I know when I never expected it in my first fight with Doom, I thought I was going to run through him, but he's so powerful. And when he locks that in, you can't move. You're stuck in a vice, right? And Eric was done, and it was over. Like, Eric was gone. And the referee was about to raise the hand to drop it a third time. And then suddenly the ref just stops and he walks backwards, starts talking to himself and leaves the ring. And Doomsayer, to his credit, never lost focus. Just continued, just kept the hold. The ref grabs a chair, enters the ring, and attacks Doomsayer with the chair. And I suppose, who's there to disqualify the referee, you know? But this is the thing about Eric. It's very easy to look at Eric from the outside in and be like, this voodoo stuff is nonsense, right? But there's something there, man, because stuff happens when Eric's in that ring. You know, we spoke to the ref after the match. He has no memory of anything that happened. He went to go raise the arm. The next thing he knew, he was in the ring, and Eric had him in the voodoo lullaby. He has no memory between what happened in between. But these two men killed it, man. I mean, that the ending of this match when Doomsayer superplexed Eric from the top turnbuckle through the tables outside, knocking both men out, and then Tommy Dyer makes his debut. Tommy Dyer on Vendetta, and you know, on a full-time basis. I got confirmation from Candice after, so I asked her. I was like, "What's Tommy Dyer? What's the situation with Tommy Dyer?" Apparently, he's signed to a full-time contract. And it looks like he has his sights set on Doomsayer. Maybe he feels the Doomsayer of old is back, and he wants a taste of that.
Well, Mr. Bison, it's actually really funny that you mentioned that, because I have some words from Tommy Dyer here.
Well, you have been a busy bee, haven't you? Play it.
I have. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some words from Tommy Dyer here, so here you go.
I suppose you believe I owe you an explanation. I don't owe any of you anything. But I'm a generous guy. I will give you an explanation to my actions as to why I'm here. Why have I shown up in OEW? Why now? Why, after all this time, have I finally decided to apply myself to this company on a full-time basis? 2 reasons. 1, Doomsayer. You and I have a rich history. You and I have a story with many chapters, but it is yet to have a definitive ending. There are still many more chapters to write. And here I tend to write the most epic chapter of them all. We should call it Exorcising Ghosts of My Past, shall we? Oh, and second reason, Miss Candice, if you truly know what is best for OEW, if you truly know what is best for the health and well-being of your precious Vendetta roster, then when it comes to the Brutality Championship, whatever way you decide to crown the first, my name better be the first past your pretty little lips. Because I'm not above tormenting a woman to get what I want. Just ask Jay Diamond. Oh wait, you can't.
Oh, fucking hell. Well, I mean, first thing I want to say is, he said, my man said, if Candice cares about the health and well-being of her roster, well, she doesn't. Clearly, she doesn't. Yeah. Thoughts, DJB, on that?
Damn.
You seem more perplexed than I am.
That was a lot harder than I anticipated. Oh fuck! Doomsayer is in trouble. Sorry,
Yeah.
Doom.
Yeah. Doom better be back, because Tommy Dyer certainly doesn't look like he's fucking around.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm a big Dyer fan, man. I am. He embodies everything that the Brutality division is meant to represent. And obviously he saw something in Doom's performance which made him want to continue this feud he has with Doom. So I'm looking forward to enabling them to finish that chapter. And yeah, that's going to be epic. I'm looking forward to that. The next Vendetta card is going to be a very fun one.
Oh yes. Speaking of Vendetta cards, we're going to move on to our next match. And well, basically, to put it short, I hate clowns.
Yes, you have there's something wrong with you, man. I don't know if you were like traumatized as a child. Maybe your parents took you to some sort of carnival or something, and you had a bad experience. Did a clown try to touch you or something, DJB? Because you're very venomous towards clowns. Maybe you should explain to everyone what this issue you have with clowns is. And first of all, I have a question for you. What was it like to be in the ring with Split? Because he was giving you a lot of trouble, man. Like, a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I underestimated Split. I don't know if you noticed, but after the match, I gave him the nod of respect. I thought he was just going to be another idiotic big guy, like fucking Festus or something, running around the ring. Duh! It's not that I have a thing against clowns, it's the whole Carnival of Carnage thing, because as far as Carnage is concerned, I am the fucking pinnacle of it in this company, okay? It's got nothing to do with fancy juggalo wannabe cunts. I am Carnage. You guys can do your own little thing over on Vendetta, but Warfare is the main place to be. And when you come out, you know what? Fuck the Carnival of... Fuck Vendetta, fuck off.
You're getting excited there, DJB. Calm down. Calm down, son. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Professionalism. I have to say, though, man, look, I don't take this personally. But Dylan
I had
Mason
a
wore it
little
better,
trouble.
man.
I had a little trouble, okay? But I overcame it. I adapted. I survived like excellence does every fucking week.
Just barely,
But
though.
yes.
Barely, though.
If Dave Barron hadn't have fucked you up this week, it would have been me.
No, it wouldn't, man. You're not. There's Dave Barron and then there's DJB. And you're not quite in the same conversation, bro.
So
You don't want to go
what
down
happened?
this road, DJB. You don't want to go down this road.
Flashback, folks. DJB versus Dave Barron. When was this? Last month? A couple of months ago? There was no winner to that match. That is still out there.
That's because he was preparing to face me. That's why. So he wasn't giving you his all because he knew he had to go in the ring with the Chaos Born Iron Storm. That's the reason why that is.
Yeah.
No
Excuse.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
We're getting sidetracked. Anyways, we're going to move on. I beat Split, end of. But Split, you know what? I will admit, before we move on, worthy adversary, and I see Split and Bazooko being a very dominant force over here on Vendetta for a long time to come.
Yeah.
Anyways,
what was next?
We'll calm it down a bit. Dylan Mason. Actually, you know what? We're not even going to calm it down a bit because we're moving on to a Dylan Mason match. Dylan Mason taking on Jack Harvey.
You have to feel for Jack though a bit, don't you? Like, you have to feel for Jack a bit. You know, he came out saying he had all his ways he could beat Mason, which, I mean, to say that is a ridiculous thing to say. But he said it, and he tried. He tried. He really tried. I have to say, listen, I don't know if you picked up on this, but the commentator of that match, what was he called? El Ultimo. He does an amazing Dylan Mason impression, man. Like that guy is talented. He's talented, and he looks. He has a certain look about him. You know, I feel like I've seen him somewhere before.
Yeah, one of those faces.
Yeah, I can't quite place it. It's the hat, I think. I've seen. I just can't place it, but I won't get distracted. But he's one to watch as a commentator, but he has that sort of face. I recognise it. Gives me flashbacks almost. But let's get to the match. So we had Jack Harvey. You know, Jack hit Dylan Mason with everything but the kitchen sink, but it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. And at the end, Dylan Mason was just toying with the boy, man. It was a man versus... He wasn't ready. Jack wasn't ready. And, you know, Dylan didn't even have the decency. Mason didn't even have the respect to put Jack Harvey down with the Blood Eagle. See, had Mason been facing me, he would have used the Blood Eagle probably about 10 times, actually, just to make sure. But he didn't even use the... It was like, I mean, the announcer did a great impersonation of Mason, you know, and he was like, you're not... he didn't even respect him enough to use the Blood Eagle. He used an older finisher, one from his past, and just put him down with that. I don't know what happens next in this. I mean, Jack just has to quit, I reckon. I don't know what else he has to give.
Well, it's funny you say it.
Let me guess. This is getting ridiculous now, is this? Why don't you just tell me what videos you have so I'm not just looking like I'm being trolled? Every time you get me speaking, you keep reeling me into this trap. Every time I start to speak, so, well, guess what? You're a cunt, you know that? An absolute cunt.
Yep.
Right, go on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have some words from Jack Harvey. Here we go, folks.
Son of a bitch!
Oh, shit.
I mean, not really words by Jack.
No.
more just frustration by Jack.
Yeah, I didn't pre-screen the video beforehand. I was just told Jack Harvey sent a video. Here it is.
He's angry and his pride's hurt.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see where
cornflakes.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where this goes because the match was I found it to be quite decisive. So if I'm Mason, there's no need to continue, right? Like if you beat someone so clearly, there's no need to continue this. So it's going to be interesting to see. I don't think Jack's going to take that though. I don't think he's going to. He needs to try and prove to himself and everyone else that he can compete with Mason, and that's the hardest thing because Dylan Mason is. Well, it's Dylan fucking Mason, isn't it? You know, it's
yeah, yeah, I know. I'm still having nightmares every night of that Iron House. Anyways, fantastic match either way, but like you said, Dylan Mason just absolutely. It seems that ever since I took this fucking championship from him, ever since he lost whatever he had left.
Yeah, you fucked him up.
I fucked him up.
You fucked him up. You fucked him up. You've
sorry, guys. I mean,
you've created a monster, and now poor Jackie is having to try and tame it, and it's not possible. I mean, he just walks around counting to 10 all the time.
Yeah. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and he didn't stand back up. But still, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where that one goes. But we're going to be moving on because we have more action here as we move on to our next match, which was Beast taking on TJ Blair.
All right, I'll let you take the lead on this because you commentated on this.
Mate, I commentated on a lot of things. Okay, TJ Blair. I mean, Beast is a personal favourite. He's always been a personal favourite of mine. I've always loved Beast's work. TJ Blair is fairly new to me, so I haven't had a lot of time to observe him. But the match itself, overall, I don't know. See, I find it hard to give my own personal opinion on a guy I've never really known much about. TJ.
All right, so
I could talk about Beast all day.
All right, well, all right. The problem with this match is that I think Beast has had enough. Like, Beast's been a mainstay in OAW, right? And he's been in the ring with everyone, but he keeps falling short. And he keeps falling underneath the standard that he sets himself. And in this match,
I love Beast.
You're gonna have to put your man crush and Beast to one side a second, right? Beast, I know your heart's broken, but Beast just isn't living up to that name, and he always takes one step forward and 2 steps back. And this match, he really needed to land, to make a big statement against TJ Blair, and he didn't do that. And TJ Blair started to really gain the upper hand, and Beast decided to grab a weapon and turn the match into a fight instead and get disqualified. I mean, the man was hitting fans, DJB. You don't just walk around attacking the fans. How can you have such a crush on this man? He's a fucking arsehole.
Well, he might have an explanation. He might have a reason.
No, he doesn't. No, he fucking doesn't. This is his explanation. I beast, I lost, I suck, I beat fan. That's his explanation.
Well,
I don't even fucking do it. Do not even fucking dare. Don't do it. Don't you fucking dare. Don't do it. I swear to God, I will jump through the screen and I will hit you with an iron lariat so hard.
I kicked out. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we actually do have some words from Beast right here. So, there we go.
Awesome.
See, TJ, I told you. I told you that your special night
wasn't going to go down the way you thought it was. Your magical moment was going to be taken away by the beast. Granted, it didn't quite end the way that I wanted it to, but you know what? I improvised in the moment. Because I didn't need to pin your shoulders to the mat. I didn't need to make you submit. The only thing I needed to do was insert my dominance, make you feel pain. And with this steel chair, this mangled beauty, I unleashed my rage upon you. And you can guarantee anytime you see the beast, I'm carrying that memento, that souvenir with me. And when I see you, I will reintroduce you to it time and time and time again. TJ Blair, this is far from over between you and I. And I can promise you, the magical moment that you were expecting is long gone. But the next time you and I meet, there will be no improvising. The plan will go as follows. The beast beats Blair. Your time is coming.
Told you we'd have an explanation. I told
That
you
wasn't
there was
an
a reason
no. That wasn't an explanation. That was Beast saying, "Fuck this, fuck that. I'm going to take my chair and I'm going to fucking beat everyone up with it." I mean, he went. Look, he destroyed. They had a good match, and then Beast decided that he couldn't do it with his own hands, and he was going to use a chair. Then he went into the crowd and started beating up fans. Then he went backstage and started attacking people backstage. And if it wasn't for Casey Moran to calm him down, who knows what would have happened? But we've not heard.
He might have went a little overboard.
He went a little overboard, man.
Just a little, but like, Candice wants to kill people.
I don't listen. Since she's got involved, everyone seems to be losing their minds. I don't know if she's putting something in the water or something in the fucking food, but people seem to be going crazy. You know, Beast was always, you know, he's not the happiest individual. You know, if you've not noticed,
He's a bit of a grump.
Beast's happy face. I don't think we've ever seen it. But that was taking it a bit too far. I mean, that was TJ Blair's debut match, and it was a special moment. And Beast just did what Beasts do, I guess. But we'll just have to. We've not heard from Blair since, so we'll just have to wait and see.
No, we haven't. And
don't have that fucking clip, do you?
No, no, I don't. Oh, you got me there. But we are going to move on to our co-main event. And what a co-main event it was. Rob Roman, Oliver Titan, International Prospect Championship.
Yeah, I mean, what
a shock.
What a shock for the debut show of Vendetta. No one saw this coming. Titan didn't see this coming. I certainly didn't expect this. And by the way, another great job by me in commentary. Chaos Born commentary storm. I'm killing it. Look, from ringside, Rob Roman was in complete control pretty much all the way, right? Titan, he of course got off fencing because Titan is a fighter. He's a little berserker, right? But Rob Roman was just too classy. He was too good. He was too smart, too fast, just too good. And right at the end, the very end, when he was about to land his participation award, and he was pretty much mocking Titan as he was about to do it. Like, don't worry, you won't leave empty-handed. Here's your participation award. And then right as he did, the lights flash. Chanting surrounds the arena. It was pitch blackness for a while. The lights come back on, and Rob it was hard to really explain. He was just talking to himself, a bit like what happened to the ref earlier in the evening, right? He was talking to himself and just scratching at his face. And then the next thing we knew, Titan obviously is going to take advantage, right? So Rob Roman stood there just talking amongst himself as if he was arguing with a presence which wasn't really there. Titan runs up, hits the finish, knocks Rob Roman out cold, goes for the pin. Everyone in the audience is just in shock. Everyone's counting 1, 2. He's gonna kick out, right? This is for the title. Rob's not gonna lose the title in his first defense, right? 3, new champion.
I was mind blown. I did not expect that.
Titan gets handed the belt like he's just pulled off the biggest heist in human history. Rolls on under the ring. Off Titan goes. Rob Roman, even when he comes to, he's talking to himself. He's still not out of it. He wakes up and he's still. So, yeah, I mean that was insane.
Well, it's funny you should mention Rob Roman talking to himself because I got handed a video moments ago, and
of course you did.
Well, this is very weird, ladies and gentlemen. You need to. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. You need to see this.
What the fuck? He's in our head. We're gonna be okay. Get him out. Now. We're gonna be okay. Get him out. In our head. Rob, how did he get in there? Rob, how did he get in there? Okay. He can't be there. It's gonna be okay. We gotta allow him. Get him out. Out, Rob. This champion's gonna fuck. What the fuck? No. He causes everything. He can't be real. He wasn't there. No. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. No, we're gonna be okay. Stop. Rob, get him out. Get him out. Rob, of our head. It's gonna be okay. Listen, it's gonna be okay. We cannot let this stand. Get him out of our head. Is this? Rob is in our head. Get him out. It won't happen again. It can't happen again.
Oh.
I don't even know what to say to that, bruv. Thoughts, DJB?
Rob's lost his mind.
It begs the question of what did happen? Did he just lose focus? Is Rob losing his mind, or was there something more sinister at play? That chanting sounded awfully familiar to me.
Yeah. And we do know that Rob does have a bit of a history with a certain Eric Molyneux.
Yeah, it had shades of Eric Molyneux all over it. And
it coincided with the referee earlier in the night as well. You've got to think, is there some connection there?
We'll have to wait and see, won't we?
Yeah, but speaking on the match itself, new champion and Oliver Titan. Wow.
Yeah. Again, no one expected that. I mean, people when they were preparing for the Battle Royal were even saying that they had people were referencing Rob Roman as the person they were going to be facing if they won that. No one was giving Titan, which is quite silly because Titan is a seasoned vet as well. But Rob Roman, he's a GWF World Champion. He, the man is a member of Paragon. I consider that man my equal, and he's a very difficult man to beat, is Rob. But Titan, no matter what happened, Titan went in that ring. He won clean. There was no weapons used, and he's the champion. So there's clean cut as that.
Champion. And it just so happens.
You've not heard from the new champion, have you?
I have.
I would never have guessed. Unbelievable.
Ladies and gentlemen.
We'll play it. The new champ. Let's go.
Your new international prospect champion, Mr. Oliver Titan.
What, you're wanting me to literally take time out of my day to talk to these people about my title win? Are you serious right now? Fine. If that's what you want me to do, I'll do it. Fuck. People are annoying. You really are. What part do you want to hear? About how great it was for me to beat Rob Roman? Or how great it was for me to take his title from him? Or how good it feels to be the International Prospect Champion? or how good it feels to know that there's an instant number one contender lined up for my International Prospect Championship, ready for me to fight them. What do you want to hear? Because I can tell you any side of a story that you want me to tell you. In either way I spin it, you will not like it. Because that is the man I am. That is the man that Oliver Titan will always be. I will always be the man that you will boo. I will always be the man that you despise. Not because it is my desire, because it is your will to do so. It is in your DNA. It is built into every single one of you to hate me with every fiber of your being. So hope and pray to the God above, the God that watches over you, your God, International Prospect Champion. And hope and pray that Rob Roman beats God. And hope and pray that he can take back his International Prospect Championship. Because I'll tell you one thing. The door's always open for Rob if he wants to try and take it back from me. But I can promise him the result will be the same every single time. But Shady, I do promise you, whenever you are ready to step up to the plate and me and you can fight for my International Prospect Championship, I'm looking forward to a fight. Not a wrestling match, a fight. You should know this by now. Every single one of you should. But as the current International Prospect Champion, I don't feel the need to be here right now. Because calling me a prospect at this stage of my career is an understatement. I'm a god. I'm nationally recognized as a sensation. I am a worldwide phenomenon. Not an international prospect. A worldwide fucking phenomenon. So sit back and watch as Oliver Titan shows you how it's done. I promise you, you won't like it. But I damn sure can guarantee you, you won't like me either. So, if you will please, I got shit to do, and I don't have time to be fucking with any of you. Now goodbye.
Damn.
Clearly a man of the people is Oliver Titan. You know, he's going to be the type of champion who goes to, you know, he's an inspiration to the kids. He's going to roll up to the school on a motorcycle. He's going to get off. He's going to shake their hands, and you know, he's going to be a hero, a typeless hero, kissing babies on the head. He is the biggest, you know, inspiration to all of us. Is Oliver Titan. Yeah, that man just doesn't give a fuck, does he?
Nah.
No, not a single fuck given.
Other than himself, nobody else matters.
No.
But that, nevertheless, he is the new International Prospect Champion, and we cannot take that away from him.
No, we can't. We can't. He is. Moving on.
Moving on. And this is the big one. The big main event. The World Elite Championship, ladies and gentlemen. The streak on the line. This man here to my right. I am Bison taking on Dave Barron, and Bison.
What can I say, man? What can I say? What can I say?
Loser!
Look, it was always gonna. Dave was always going to be the man who was my big. He was the biggest threat to me when I was climbing the ranks to get the title in the first place. You know, he stepped out and I attained the championship, but it was never really, even though I was dominant in my reign, it was never really solidified because I didn't beat Dave. I hit that man with fucking everything I had and couldn't get the job done. So full credit to Dave. I mean, he had to throw my arm into the post a few times. Good tactic.
How was the arm?
Good tactic by Dave. I expected a bit more. I didn't expect that from Dave, I'll be honest. That caught me off guard a little bit. I expect those sort of sleazy tactics from like a Mason, you know, because Mason's, you know, he wins by any means necessary. I didn't expect that from Dave. So that caught me off guard a little bit, did that. But look, I hit him with the Iron Lariat, compromised arm, but still, I hit him with the Chaos Born Impact, my most devastating move. I followed that up with the Maniacal Smash, and I couldn't keep him down. And it just came down to the last. Look, I had him. I fucking had him. Right? It was both on the turnbuckle. It could have gone my way, and he hit me with the driver from the middle turnbuckle. I don't even remember what happened. I just remember hearing his music and thinking, "Fuck." I remember waking up. I heard his music, and he was whispering something in my ear. I think he said, "You'll always be better than me, Bison. I got lucky." I think that's what he said. But yeah, I think
unfortunately, I don't have a video from Dave Barron at hand, so we'll have to find out.
If you did have one, he would be saying, "God, I was so lucky," you know. But Dave Barron, he ended the streak, and you know what? I'm glad, because I lost to Dave Barron, the World Elite Champion. You know, who really gives a fuck? But look, I still have this DJB, right? It's all is not lost. Are you ready? I can still pretend that I'm the World Elite Champion, right? Because I can be like, look, I'm still the champ, everyone. I'm still, look at that. Isn't that a beauty? Yeah. Look at that. I mean, how shiny. How shiny it is.
You could earn a belt. You could win a belt.
Look at this bad boy. Yeah, but this is legacy, DJB. Oh, it's upside down. Fucking right. There we go. Look at that. Just look at that. Who cares? Who needs to be champion when you've got that? Right.
It is a very beautiful championship.
But look, I just want to say that the crowd for that match was deafening. You know, in the entire history of the streak, I've never had a match where the crowd have been so engrossed into it. And I really felt that they energized Dave. He was practically immortal. You know, it was amazing. It's hard to really articulate and describe. I knew what I was walking into. I knew he was technically the better wrestler. I thought I could take him down with my tenacity and power advantages. I do everyone, but Dave just wouldn't budge, man. He had an answer for everything. He is smart. He is cunning. He is tricky, and he got me, man. And I take nothing away from him. I mean, he still used the ring post. I mean, I could have done dirty tactics, but we won't get into it. But no, look, yeah, the streak is done, and look, there's nothing else for me to achieve, right, DJB? I'm pretty busy now at being the future of the table, and being the man who calls the matches, and training people like Eric, passing on my my skill set to other people. The streak is done. My reign is over. Well, what else is? I mean, I could take your belt if I really wanted to, but that's not fair on you, is it, DJB? I mean, you've just started to get that recognition now. I mean, I could take it from you. You know that, right?
Anything.
You know I take it from you. You know I take it from you, DJB.
Bring it.
I'll tell you what. We'll have a match, right? It's here's a rule, a special stipulation. No ring posts, right? And all attacks to the right arm are off. And then you can add whatever stipulation you want. How's that? Because when that iron fucking lariat hits DJB, I know you've had it before. So I'll give you your credit, but you don't kick out of another one. You got the one.
I will not attack or injure your right arm.
All right.
You cannot use your right arm.
Well, I mean, I can always. I'm ambidextrous, man. I'll do it with my left. I'll just, No, I'm kidding, man. The left doesn't do anything. It's useless.
A bit like your streak now, but anyways, that was that was the main. I mean, Dave Barron coming out on top, defeating the Iron Bison, conquering the streak. A fantastic ending to a fantastic first episode of Vendetta.
Yeah, you know what? I remembered why I stopped using that diving headbutt as well. the fans were all asking me to do it again. I was like, did you not see me knock myself out like 5 minutes ago? That's a horrible move. No one should ever do it, man. I don't know what I was thinking. That was the fans' fault. I had him beat, by the way. I hit him with a Chaos Born Impact. He was dead. Ask him, he'll tell you. He was gone, right? And crowd are all like, smash. And I'm thinking, I'll give some. This is why Titan's mentality works. He doesn't give a fuck about them, right? He'll just get but no, me, trying to give something back. I was like, of course I'm 100 pounds heavier than I was back then, right? I don't know what I was thinking. So I stood on the top, jump off, hit Baron, lights out. I was gone. I woke up like 6 seconds later with the ref counting, like doing that. I was like, oh fuck, what's happening? Put my arm over Baron. Well, at least this is over now. Full of a concussion, like I can go to the back and get medical attention. And he fucking kicked out. What a cunt, man. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? We're supposed to be like brothers. We're in Paragon together. Like we've trained together. Why would you kick out? You're no selling me now, Dave. Like I've hit you with a power spawn impact. I've just hit you with a maniacal smash and just kicking out. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? He was
brotherly love, man.
Oh man, let me give you some advice. Don't ever take a power driver from the middle turnbuckle. That's not fun.
Doesn't sound fun.
No,
either.
It's not fun. It's not fun. It's not.
However, that was Vendetta. The whole
That
show.
was Vendetta. And what a show it was.
What a show. I mean, everybody, fantastic. It was a fantastic show. We're at the end now. I don't know what should we tell people? How shall we end our recap show, Bison?
I don't know. I feel like I've been leading this. You lead for a sec. I mean, look, we have a massive Vendetta's on a break now. People need chance to recover. Dave Barron certainly needs chance to recover. Titan was in the LSU match. Well, he does. But we got some big matches coming. We've got obviously Carnival versus the Bastards of Hatred, which Jester White and Wicked Sin. We've got a lot of we've got Titan versus. On the next card, Titan versus Eric for the International Prospect Championship. I mean, Titan versus Shady Sean McKenzie. We got Doomsayer and Tommy Dyer. We got a lot of big matches coming now. We got Heller and Lenore. We got Mason. Don't know what's going to happen with Mason and Jack, but once Vendetta is going to return after round 1 of Lionheart, and then it's going to be a very interesting show, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Lionheart coming up. Pay attention to that, everybody. It's not just going to be big for OEW, it's going to be big throughout the whole of the fucking EFED industry. This is something you all need to just keep your eyes on.
Yeah.
As far as this goes right now, that was Vendetta, ladies and gentlemen.
Vendetta, great first show. Fantastic.
That big over there is Bison. I am Baldwin. And I guess are we going to be doing this every Vendetta, Bison?
I don't see why not. The people need to know what's happening. Fuck it, why not? I'm pretty much retired now. I'm not fighting people no more, man. I can do this all day.
I am.
Well, you are, but once you lose your belt, which will be soon, let's be honest. I mean, Split almost had you. It won't be long until someone takes that belt from you, son. I'm telling you. Everyone loses the belt at some stage, man.
Never.
Okay.
Never.
If you say so. All right, I believe you. I believe you.
I'm getting buried with this thing.
Yeah, okay. You're going to get buried trying to defend that thing. That's what's going to happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's been a blast being on here with you, shooting the shit, recapping the show. And make sure to join. What's next? We've got Lionheart Tournament. We've got Warfare. We've got Warfare coming up later this week. Other than that, we really hope you like this. Let us know what you think. We do have a lot of comments. We've had a lot of comments coming through this whole time. But if we were to go through them all, we'd be here for another hour and a half. So I could have watched Avengers in the meantime. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I'm going to end it here. And we will see you next time. Goodbye.